Cześć, pora na ostatni odcinek poradnika systemowego do Tekkena 8. Dziś będzie o tym, co robić, jak już ktoś nas zdżagluje i po żaglu jesteśmy na ziemi.
So the last thing to talk about here is actually just getting up off the floor, Mike. Just getting up off the floor. It's like the thing about Tekken that's kind of different than most of the fighting games. I actually don't know many of the fighting games that have this in there. But basically in Tekken, you don't have to get up. You can just stay down forever. Learning how to get up off the ground, it's actually something you got to take note of in this game.
Tutaj wydaje mi się, że RIP porównuje bijatyki 2D, w których faktycznie nasza postać wstaje po jakimś czasie, możemy czasem to opóźnić. W Tekkenie przeciwnik, czy postać przeciwnika może być na ziemi i wtedy mamy do tego inną strategię niż w sytuacji, kiedy wstaje, ale w innych bijatykach też mogą leżeć na ziemi, na przykład w Soul Caliburze.
Compared to most other fighting games. But the way we talk about it in Tekken terms, we talk about the positions you're in. So right now you see Law on the screen there. He is face down, feet away.
Postacie, po tym jak są na ziemi, mogą znajdować się w 4 podstawowych pozycjach. Tutaj mamy taką sytuację, że Love ma twarz do ziemi i nogi odsunięte od przeciwnika i tak właśnie definiujemy te pozycje.
So we either talk about face being up or down and the feet being towards or away from the opponent, right? So here you see Law face down and feet away. If I'm holding down a side roll.
I czasem też możecie spotkać się z tym, że będzie to oznaczone takim 4-literowym skrótem face down, feet away, czyli FDFA.
With the punch button, you'll see Law is now face up, feet away, right? So there's
Tu z kolei jest face up, feet away, czyli FUFA.
no way that he can actually switch this position here. Once you're in this position, these are your two options: side rolling this way or that way, and that's it, right? And then how you can actually choose to get it from there with a get up kick, you can either choose 3 or 4, right? You can do this get up kick here, or you can do this mid get up kick here.
Tutaj te ciosy wychodzą w zbliżonym tempie, więc ciężko będzie zrobić fuzzy guarda. No ale tak jak tutaj było pokazane, 3 i 4 odpowiadają za nogi podczas wstawania. Jeden cios jest na low, drugi jest na mid. Kiedyś w ogóle myślałem, że trzeba wcisnąć strzałkę w dół, żeby zrobić cios na low zamiast ciosu na mid, ale nie. Tu jest tak, że wystarczy konkretna noga.
And those kicks, like they used to be counter launcher for the low one, and the mid one used to be more punishable, but they're relatively safer options now in Tekken 8, right?
Kiedyś ten low na counter hicie jugglował, teraz już tego nie ma. Pewnie po to, żeby nie ograniczać tak bardzo agresji przeciwnika, no bo jeśli on na nas napiera, my wstajemy z lowem i trafiamy na counter hita, wówczas przejmujemy tę turę i w tym momencie przeciwnik może nie będzie chciał ryzykować właśnie z robieniem okizeme. Okizeme w ogóle to jest ogólnie to, co mówimy o atakowaniu przeciwnika wtedy, kiedy on leży bądź wstaje.
Yeah, they're completely safe now. But then, of course, the low parry is a low. You can low crush it. You can low parry it. You can step both of these options. You know, there's still ways around it. So it's not always like, yeah, they're something that they can go for every time.
Exactly. And then how do we show them the other way? I don't know how to get positions. I guess you got...
Czasem, żeby skontrować ciosy ze wstawania, możecie zrobić na przykład hop kicka. Wówczas przeskoczycie oczywiście lowa, natomiast możecie też dzięki temu wyprzedzić mida, trafiając właśnie hop kickiem. Alternatywna opcja to na przykład zrobienie jakiegoś mida, który na counter hicie juggluje.
sidewalk around me. So in this position, yeah, Law would be...
You actually have 2 more options. Yeah, you got toe kick and spring kick.
Exactly. But in this position, this would be Law face up, feet towards, right? Or it'd be face down, feet towards. But yeah, in this position, if you hit down plus a kick, when you get this toe kick here, and you can see your...
I tutaj zwróćcie uwagę, że Love nie jest w ofensywie, bo ucieka od przeciwnika takim rolem.
Character will back roll away safely. It's a little quick get off me tool if you're ever in that position. And you can also do a spring kick here. Let me, if I can get back grounded again. And if you hit both kicks together, you get that spring kick there.
U nas nazywamy to sprężynką. 3+4 z wstawania w takiej właśnie pozycji face up, feet towards, czyli FUFT.
So that spring kick, though, it can be very punishable, right? So you do have to kind of use this, but it is a pretty good way of kind of attacking through your opponent's offense while you're grounded, attacking through their okizeme.
Right, it's very fast. It's like weirdly evasive too. So, but of course, depending on how close you block it, the more punishable it could be. So, I think at the closest, it's like 20 something.
Yeah, it's minus 19,
Yeah.
right
No, tu jest minus 19, więc sprężynka jest karalna na wybitkę.
there, right? So that's super punishable. In Tekken, 15 is already a really bad number. That's where most characters will get a launcher on you. So minus 19 is pretty bad.
Yeah, exactly. But it could be a good way to quickly get off the ground for you if your opponent's getting a little too overzealous on their Oki scenario.
And just do a combo to me really quick. And I'm not going to hit any buttons here, right? So
Tutaj jeszcze może dodam, że sprężynki czasem mimo wszystko się opłacają, dlatego że one mają to do siebie, że trochę unikają, zwłaszcza w pierwszych klatkach animacji.
as soon as he does his combo, you can see my character's just going to land on the floor. And whatever position I land in, that's what I'm in, right? And now from here, you can actually side roll with the punches. So if I just hit side roll by itself with no direction, lock.
Tutaj jest jeszcze korekta na ekranie. Rolować możemy jedynką, czyli na PlayStation będzie to kwadrat.
I was going to side roll into the background. But if I hold down and side and hit a button and hit the punches, he's going to side roll into the foreground. So
Czyli albo rolujemy ze strzałką, albo bez strzałki.
from this position, if I hit punch, Law's going to roll upwards into the background. And we'll combo one more time really quick.
Yeah, specifically one as well. You can't do two. So you got to
yeah,
do
sorry.
one or down one.
Exactly.
So
One or
one to
down.
go into the background, down one to go into the foreground.
Thank
And
you.
it's going to change your position from where you initially were. So he was face up, feet towards. Now, since he side rolled down, he's going to be face down, feet towards.
Czyli jeśli robimy tego typu rola, pozycja naszej twarzy zmienia się. Jeśli była wcześniej do ziemi, teraz będzie do góry. Jeśli była do góry, będzie do ziemi.
Yeah, and I should mention, you can see me mashing here on the side. Once you use a side roll, you cannot side roll again,
Czyli możemy zrobić takiego rola pojedynczo.
right? So
Unless you get hit on the ground here, and then you could do another one.
Ale jeśli zostajemy trafieni, ten licznik roli resetuje się i możemy zrobić go jeszcze raz.
yeah, but then as soon as you use that one side roll again, you cannot do anything again, right? But when he
Unless
does
you
do
get
his
hit
grounded
again,
hit on
yeah.
me, I can actually match punch a Techroll, and I can stand up quickly. And this is usually your safest option of getting up off the ground. And you can also do this by hitting any of the 4 buttons, and you can do it even when you're getting launched, right? So while you're in a combo state, if you don't know when the combo's going to end, you're just mashing here. You're just mashing all these buttons, right? And as soon as you hit the ground, boom, your character's in a
Możecie próbować maszować rola właśnie, kiedy jesteście jugglowani. To nie jest tak, że uciekniecie z juggla, ponieważ nie można tego zrobić. Natomiast jeśli przeciwnikowi nie uda się trafić jugglem, tylko na przykład gdzieś tam się spóźni, nie trafi was, trafi w powietrze, wy możecie zdążyć wstać i czasem nawet jeszcze go ukarać.
Techroll and stand up again. So you kind of avoid the
Yeah.
how do I get up. You just mash it and you'll get up.
Yeah, generally the safest way to get up in Tekken is while you're getting comboed or something, you just hold back mid-air, and then you just pick a direction. So it's like punches, you'll go into the background, and then with kicks, you'll go into the foreground.
Yeah, so I'm going to mash kicks this time here.
Jeśli chodzi o wstawanie takie od razu po kombosie, to tutaj powinniśmy maszować puncze albo nogi, zależnie od tego, w którą stronę chcemy wstać, żeby właśnie wstać.
And that's rolling into the foreground there to get up. And foreground or background, the only time you're really paying attention to this is if
Jednocześnie powinniśmy trzymać strzałkę do tyłu.
you're like at a certain angle to the wall and you want to make sure you roll away from it. Certain combos
Yeah.
from certain characters, sometimes you'll want to like tech roll a certain direction to sometimes help avoid a follow-up. That's not necessarily guaranteed if you time it side tech roll right. So very, very situational occurrences for this, but for the most
Tak, i jeszcze jest tak, że w patchu 1.02.01, chyba tak się nazywał, znerfili niektóre sytuacje. Było tak, że w niektórych sytuacjach postacie nie mogły rolować po jakichś kombosach, przez co można było dalej kontynuować combo. Natomiast z czasem weszły patche, które sprawiły, że postacie mogły rolować do tyłu, uciekając przed gwarantowanymi obrażeniami.
But you want to use it positionally to be further away from walls.
And another quick reminder why I said to hold back and then pick a button to tech is because there are spikes, flip over spikes like this, where if you hold back, you'll be able to quickly recover from it.
I to jest właśnie to, o czym powiedziałem. Może niekoniecznie ta konkretna sytuacja, natomiast tutaj już przyjdzie z doświadczeniem, z czasem zobaczycie, w jakich sytuacjach można rolować.
Yeah.
As you can see, Law gets back on his feet like pretty quickly there.
Yeah, but if I don't hold back, show them what happens here.
Oop.
So if I'm not holding back, and I'm just mashing buttons, that's what will happen, right?
I ten roll na bok był dość wolny.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit more unsafe, essentially. But if I'm holding
Yeah,
back,
you could-
we avoid it.
Yeah, if he stayed grounded there, I could get a free grounded hit on him.
Yeah,
so
this
it's
time
like,
I'll just mash kicks here. Yeah. That was interesting. I didn't even get the tech roll.
yeah, you can't tech roll because it's a flip over spike.
Yeah, so if I was mashing punches, then I would have side rolled. Mashing kicks, I get a get up kick. So damn, there you go. That's a little bit. We talked about quick back roll. We talked about tech roll. Tech roll, I think, is one of the most important. But as Mike mentioned, hold back and mash the buttons, right? That's your safest option usually to get up off the ground. Is there anything
Yep.
we missed in this?
There's also one more. In any scenario where you could get a tech roll, you can actually be holding forward to do like a quick little kick up like that. So you could kind of get up using that option as well.
Yeah, and this kick up actually has a little bit of a hitbox on it. So if they're trying to pressure you afterward, they can actually get hit by this.
Czyli w niektórych sytuacjach możemy przytrzymać strzałkę do przodu, żeby wstać taką, no też swego rodzaju sprężynką. Trafimy wtedy przeciwnika, no ale trzeba uważać, bo jeśli przeciwnik będzie się tego spodziewał, zrobi szybko backdasha, poczeka aż wstaniecie i zrobi wam whiff punish w postaci na przykład wybitki.
Like that. Yes, a little bit of damage. Actually, does it even do damage?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so it is a little bit of damage.
Very little.
Yeah, but it's also kind of risky, right? Because you can kind of get floated out of this too.
You could get floated out of it. You could get launched for it because it is a move that you're whipping.
boy.
So
Dokładnie. Zadało to 4 punkty obrażeń. Wydaje mi się, że nie widziałem jeszcze walki, która zakończyłaby się właśnie tym ciosem, no ale może wszystko jeszcze przede mną.
Yeah.
yeah.
Risky
So
option.
it's not the safest way to get up, but it's there if you want to like mix it up sometimes. But use at your discretion.
Yeah, it's risk reward not usually in your favor, right? Like risk reward, safest option, hold back and mash tech roll.
Pamiętajcie, to, że jakaś opcja jest w grze, nie oznacza, że należy jej używać. Nie wszystkie opcje są użyteczne.
That's usually the safest way to get up in Tekken. Let's also talk about now in grounded positions. There are different ways you can actually flip your opponent over, right? So this is very specific to characters. Do you know Steve's options?
Yeah, so any move that looks like it's kind of like hitting them to the side will kind of like have a new way they flip them over on the.
Czyli to wygląda tak, że jeśli mamy przeciwnika na ziemi, możemy go obrócić, zmienić to, jak jego twarz jest położona. I tutaj w tym przykładzie Steve robi to używając DB2.
Ground. Like here, he's face up, face down, feet towards, then he goes flip to the other side like that. So he goes from face up to face down, or vice versa.
Exactly. And the other option, do you
And
know?
then, I don't think I have one.
Okay, well, do you have a way? Okay, so just hold forward here. So for Law, he's got two options, right? One of them is side step 3, and you can see this is the same thing, right? Where it flips him face down and face up. But if I hit Dragon Tail, it does this whole thing where it flips his whole body around, right? So now his face is towards, now his face is, or his feet are towards, now his feet are away.
Tutaj z kolei u Lawa DB4, czyli Dragon Tail, nie dość, że zamienia góra-dół twarz, to jeszcze zamienia przód, tył, nogi.
I think that's the way to do it. So not only that, it's also flipping in. So this is like I don't know what these names are called, right? We've just been giving them names. This is I call like a pancake because it's just a simple flip, and this I've been calling a pizza because it flips around and spins them, you know. But they're I don't know how useful these are going to be in Tekken 8, but the idea here is that you have this option now, and if the opponent though is just mashing Techroll, as soon as any of these ground hits them, they will Techroll out of that position, right? So I'm gonna do a Dragon Tail here, Mike's gonna Techroll, and then you're gonna see he's just gonna get right back up. So that position I knocked him into doesn't even really matter. So there are gonna be occasions at the wall in this game now where you will have to decide, do I Techroll or not? Characters like Brian or Yoshimitsu, where they have tech catches at the wall where they can hit you for tech rolling, this will be more dangerous for those kind of characters, I think. So we'll see how this fleshes out over time, I think. Any
Yeah,
thoughts
and
on
there's
that,
a
Mike?
couple. Yeah, no, I think you're right because unless they find like a good setup, you could. But yeah, like we said, anytime you get a hit on the ground, you could always have tech roll re-available to you, like we just showed.
Right.
But yeah, there's a couple other things that we need to bring up too, real quick. There's two ways to get up off the ground. Basically, when you can't tech roll. Oh yeah, I have one. So like this kind of spike, you can't tech roll either.
Są w Tekkenie ciosy, które dobijają do ziemi w taki sposób, że nie możemy zrobić Techrolla. I tutaj jest przykład ze Steve'a UF1.
Because it hits you down to the ground, so you can't tech roll there. So you have to get up in a different way. You can either do get up kicks like we just showed, or there's two other ways to get up. You could hold back, and then you'll get up doing this like crawling back animation, just like that. Or you could get up by holding up.
And holding up is like that.
Czyli w tej sytuacji możemy poza takim przeturlaniem się już po ziemi zrobić, przytrzymać strzałkę do tyłu, żeby wstać do tyłu, bądź strzałkę do góry, żeby wstać w miejscu.
Yeah, so it changes how you get up off the floor. Generally, holding up is a little bit safer than holding back because you get up off the floor quicker. But in certain instances, like let's say I have Law's back here, right? And then I spike him from the back. Yeah, see right there, if he was holding back, he gets up like that. And back is a little bit slower in this game, even more so than Tekken 7. But if we could do a restart real quick. But if you hold up to avoid here in this position, it's pretty dangerous because they could kind of blow you up for holding up here.
Let's try. I'm gonna hold up. Oh, danger!
Właśnie, to jest użyteczne, zwłaszcza w takich sytuacjach, kiedy w trakcie juggla postać przeciwnika jest plecami do nas, bo dobijamy go do ziemi i wtedy, kiedy on będzie próbował wstać, będzie to dla niego bardziej niebezpieczne, ponieważ może dostać znowu w plecy.
Danger!
So, yeah. So, like in two positions in this game, it's kind of dangerous to get up with up or back. So, as you saw there, whenever they're face up, feet away, like in this position, after this combo,
Up
so
or
his
back here is
face up.
scary.
Yeah, up or back here, you can get blown up for it. You can't block because you're getting a back turn.
Tutaj aż strach wstać.
And there's also one more position if you would side roll and stay down. So it's feet up, face up, feet away, or this position, face down, feet towards. So both of these two positions, if you hold up or back, you can get blown up for it.
One other thing I want to talk about the grounded position, Mike. Sidewalk back to my head. There is something we didn't talk about in Tekken that's very unique, and it's while standing attacks.
Oh yeah.
From this grounded position here, where you're face down, feet away, if you tap up and hit a kick, when you can do while standing forward like this. You cannot do punch attacks while we're standing like this, but you can do the kick attacks.
Czyli w tej sytuacji, jeśli jesteśmy w takiej pozycji, możemy ścisnąć strzałkę do góry i wtedy robimy ciosy tak zwane z WS-a, czyli ze wstawania z kucnięcia.
Which is fantastic for Steve. Steve, for example, doesn't have kicks.
Perfect.
So all
Fantastic.
Steve can do in that position, yeah, it's weird. But from this position only, if you tap up and then press 3 or 4, you could get your while standing attacks a lot quicker. But for Steve, you know, he doesn't have while standing 3 or while standing 4, so he gets his weaves instead.
All right, so that's basically it, guys. That is our full system overview of.
To są tak naprawdę podstawy gry w Tekkena. To jest coś, co powinniście umieć, czego powinniście się nauczyć, zaczynając grę w Tekkena. Może nie wszystkiego od razu, pewne elementy dojdą z czasem. Może jeszcze tutaj dodam coś, co nie padło w tym poradniku. Niektóre postacie mają specjalne sposoby wstawania. Tutaj jako takie 3 sztandarowe przykłady podam pandę, która z każdej pozycji ze wstawania może zrobić cios albo na mid, albo na low. Jeśli jest na plecach, robi mida, jeśli jest na brzuchu, robi lowa. Dalej Dragunov, do którego poradnik niedługo trafi już na kanał, może wstawać też w specjalny sposób. To tam zobaczycie, jak Karadolf mi o tym mówił. Spoiler. Inna postać, która może specjalnie wstawać, to jest Alisa. Ona może podlatywać i nas dodatkowo zaraz potem atakować właśnie ze wstawania. Jeszcze zanim się pożegnamy, na koniec dodam, że co prawda to są wszystkie elementy, które omówiłem w ramach tego już 6-częściowego poradnika systemowego, ale na kanał będę wrzucał również jakieś takie mniejsze porady na temat gry w Tekkena. Z czasem pewnie wrzucę coś na temat backdashowania, jak sam trochę więcej poćwiczę. Poza tym może takie mniejsze filmy, na przykład na temat frame daty czy fuzzy guarda, więc zapraszam standardowo do subskrybowania i mam nadzieję, że będziecie mieli dużą zabawę grając w Tekkena. Dzięki, do następnego, cześć!